Tonight, it's the National Football League Super Bowl 57.
The hype and the talk is over. We're set for the big one. Super Bowl 57. Away we go from Arizona. And we will not have a return, so the first drive of this Super Bowl will begin at the 25. First carry now for the former Badger, Jonathan Taylor. And he's upended at the 33, following a good pickup of 8.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple. On the handoff, this is Taylor.
Second and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
First and 10, Taylor now. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That's his longest run of the first quarter. And, Charles, we talked before the game about them needing to establish the run game. They'll be looking for more of that.
And they got to the perimeter. So that tells me that that's part of the game plan of what they want to get done today. So they'll have some complementary runs where he'll run it to the inside. But it appears that when they want the big yardage, they think they can get to the outside and make it happen.
On first down, it's Taylor. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Forced out to his left. Throwing left side, it's complete. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 18. A little glimpse of his athleticism there and what they're going to have to deal with. He can use his legs to dance around back behind the line of scrimmage and beyond the line of scrimmage.
And wouldn't you love to get a copy of their defensive scout?
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. With a first touchdown of this Super Bowl and a long one at that. And the Dolphins are on the board first here in this Super Bowl. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt a return. Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up first and 10 at their 25-yard line. Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. He'll have a first down past the 40. And finally taken down at the 30-yard line. 45 yards rushing for him now on their opening drive of this Super Bowl. Well, welcome to the party. First carry of the game. How about that?
And just think, as far as he's concerned, he's just getting warmed up.
So the big play has him all the way down to the 30 now for first and 10. Here's Breida. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And down inside the 15 he goes. You look at this Super Bowl, the second appearance for this head coach. The first one did not go as planned, as we all know. But what do you think he's learned from that first go-around?
He learned how much it hurts to lose, and that's what you hear from coaches so often. They don't remember the wins as much as they remember the losses. You can talk about the media, the scrutiny, the hoopla, but once you've had to shake a head coach's hand and jog off the field and know you have to face the media, face your fans, face your home life, knowing that you've lost the Super Bowl, that hurts big time, and you're going to do everything possible to try and prevent that from happening again.
And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7. Now it's Rodgers. Touchdown, Packers. Hollywood Marquise Brown there to make the grab. And the Packers are an extra point away from tying up this Super Bowl. And here's Tucker McCann now for the PAT. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. He'll check this one down to Taylor. A very good move, but for a relatively modest gain out near the 32. That'll go for a gain of 7. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down. Looking to pass. Tua. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
And this is what you want to see from a defense. Give up an opening drive touchdown, that's fine. But how about them going back out there, recommitting themselves to the task at hand, and forcing a 3-and-out and giving the ball back to their offense.
That'll be a 41-yard punt, just 1 yard on the return. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And it's a unit last drive that did it all on the ground, Charles.
And they controlled it from the interior, big on big, right? Offensive lineman versus defensive lineman. But you know, in order to keep the football moving downfield, other people have to get involved as well. Your wide receivers, your tight ends, lead runners, anything that you have possible to get in front and keep the ball moving.
And now the defense may be looking out for a pass coming up. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Rodgers going to throw. That's complete. It's Brandon Ayuk. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. The Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on 3rd down. They'll run for the first time with Hill. And he's going to have a Packers 1st down. At least it appears that way. And he got it by maybe the length of a football. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Rodgers now to throw. They'll find Ayuk open right side. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 7-7, our score after one. A good gain on first has them set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29. They fake the give. Now Rodgers. And able to find Allen. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Now Brian Flores going to take a chance here as he'll throw the red challenge flag. So not successful there on the challenge, and he'll have to be careful from here on out because he'll only have one challenge remaining. They'll go with Hill here on 1st down, and he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
I think sometimes when you're trying to get after the quarterback, maybe it's better to be lucky than great. Because I think on that one, he's just trying to get upfield and rush the passer. Instead, the tackle for the loss landed right in his lap.
After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. To throw, it's Rodgers. Got a man, that's Ayuk. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. And his kick is good. Oh, he just did tuck it into the bottom of that left corner. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They'll carry by Taylor to start the drive. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Give him 9 yards on the 2nd down screen play.
And that doesn't have to gain big yardage to be an impactful play, because if you can get those pass rushers second-guessing themselves that they might get hit with a screen, maybe you can wind up slowing them down just a step. And if you do that, that's a win for that play.
And he'll have a Dolphins 1st down as he's got this up to the 40-yard line.
3rd inches, they just handed to the big battering ram there. That's football 101, isn't it? That's bread and butter. Turn around, hand it to the big fella, and let him get forward for a 1st down.
Now whistles and a flag, and I believe a Dolphin got going a little early. A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. And they'll try the jet sweep here. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. An excellent run there coming from out wide.
And we used to consider these jet sweeps to be gadget plays or something a little bit unusual, right? But now most teams have some version of this play in their playbook. And I think it's a lot because of the receivers that are being developed nowadays. These guys look like running backs even though they're playing out on the perimeter.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Second down, another run with Taylor. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. 74 yards rushing for him now in the first half of this Super Bowl.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
They'll run on first down. It's Taylor, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for second down. 2 minutes on the clock in the second quarter of this Super Bowl. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. Tua, fast pass outside complete. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. Tyreek Hill, 26 yards. And the Dolphins are going to jump back in front. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead is now 14-10. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete.
Whenever you see a quarterback break contain, just think to yourself, the receivers on that side of the field, their number one job, make sure they get in his sight line so he can try and find someone downfield. Guys on the backside, make sure you don't give up the deep ball. They tried it there. They weren't able to connect.
Yeah, this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on third down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to. On fourth down, on is Corey Bojorquez to punt. Back deep is Tyreek Hill. That's taken on the 25. A good kick, 48 yards, 4 on the return. And it'll be Dolphin football. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And with a little under a minute to go, still time to try to put a drive together to add to their lead should they so choose. Tua now on first down. Throw right side, going to be caught here by Waddle. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. Tagovailoa working out of the gun. And incomplete on the deep ball.
I may be an analyst, but I'm also a fan. I love it when people take the big shots downfield, but he was under a lot of duress, and I think that forced the incompletion downfield. Didn't have a real good chance to find his target.
And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. Here's Jack Fox now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. So possession goes over here on the punt, and out will come the offense as they take over. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And with them trailing, there is still enough time to try to string a few plays together, maybe get in the field goal range. That ball caught. Brandon Ayuk. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A big play that time through the air. 31 yards. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Rodgers. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And oh, it'll be intercepted. A.J. Boye with a pick. And the Dolphins are going to take over at their own 13-yard line. Well, his arm strength never an issue, but this one winds up in the wrong hands.
Oh, the coverage here is just terrific, because when it's done really well, sometimes you can't distinguish whether it's the receiver or the defensive back the ball's intended for. He actually ran with him in perfect motion and able to...
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Eric Stokes. And the Packers are going to take over at their own 41. Well, Charles, so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break.
Well, he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Packers. Marquise Brown in the final seconds of the first half. And the Packers have retaken the lead.
Well, this is exactly where I expect teams to take a shot. Right after a turnover, you count on the defense being a little bit jumbled coming out on the field, maybe catch them back on their heels, and that's exactly what they did there. They threw it downfield and really created a big play.
Well, you said jumbled. They were the definition of jumbled defensively. One play and into the end zone. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And with 10 seconds left, not really enough time to put something together. And going deep for Hill. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by Eric Stokes. And the Packers are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line. A final shot before half for Rodgers. That's complete out left to Ayuk. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. So it's halftime here on sports' grandest stage in the Super Bowl. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. These two teams sat through a longer than usual 30-minute wait, but we're back in action here in this Super Bowl. And we will not see a return to start the half, as this will be a touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And I think you'd have to say their coaching staff, all things considered, had to be pleased with their performance in the first half of this Super Bowl.
Definitely pleased, doing their best not to show it to their team, of course, because as you and I both know, their mantra all season long has been finish. Get the job done. They know how close they are to lifting that trophy. One more solid half of football, and they can do exactly that.
Meanwhile, Rodgers' throw here pulled in by Lazard. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
They run again with Breida. He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Throwing is Rodgers. And this is caught. It's Brown. And he's going to have a Packers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Whenever we talk about moving the sticks and controlling the football, there's a great example right there. Those are the 3rd downs you need to convert to win football games. We're in the 3rd quarter of this one, and this is a tight one. In order to maintain pace, keep the ball away from the other team, and put points on the board, those are the plays they need to continue to convert. Well, I think that was good strategy there, trying to go right back to him after the last completion. But this time, the defense was all over it, and they got there to break that one up.
They run with Dillon. And he's taken down inside the 30.
I know a lot of times we like to put players in certain boxes. He does this and he does that. But this guy, he can do a little bit of everything. He's not just a lead blocker or a guy who protects the passer. Handing the ball, he might want to get out of the way.
On first down, here's Breida. Shrugs the tackle.
Nice.
68 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. On 2nd down and 4, Rodgers. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Jalen Phillips. What a play by him. That's going to go as a loss of 13. Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long. To throw is Rodgers. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25. They'll get 11, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. They'll go for it. It's Rodgers. That ball is caught. Marquez Valdez-Scantling. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5.
What an excellent end result for them. But let's go back to the decision, first of all, to go for it all on 4th down. A lot of pressure on the quarterback's shoulders, but they knew he could handle it. Makes the right read there, gets the ball to his receiver. They get the first down. It's now 1st and goal.
On play action, now Rodgers. They'll roll him out right. Going to throw right side here, complete. That catch good for only a couple.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
And he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any kind of space for him, could they?
Yeah, didn't get the push they needed. On 3rd and short, going with their tight end. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Green Bay touchdown. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Packers take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors.
And he'll be stopped right at midfield.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense. And on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down. 1 quarter remains here in the Super Bowl. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. On 2nd down, it's Taylor. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. They have 3 yards on 1st down, just 1 yard there.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. And a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
Space to run past the 20. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line.
Well, every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a 1-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try and get the ball back again.
And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Jonathan Taylor, his 2nd touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Dolphins have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. Extra point splits the uprights. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And the tension ratcheting up all around. A 1-score game, 4th quarter of the Super Bowl. This is what you folks came for. Every play with the potential to win or lose a title as they look to drain some time off this clock. And even 100 yards rushing for him now as he goes over the century mark here in this Super Bowl. They'll run it. Here's Dillon. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Now it's Dillon. And he's going to be brought down inside the 45 at the 43. 9 big yards on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. Here's a handoff left side to Breida. And forget that 100-yard rushing game, at least for the moment, as he'll lose yardage here and fall back under the century mark for the game. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Working from the gun. Rodgers. Flush to his right. And he'll let this go deep for Lazard. A fight for it, and this is caught. It's caught indeed.
And that certainly appears to be a critical conversion right there, because not only do they keep the drive going, they take valuable time off the clock as well. They have to feel really good about that last completion.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. And the Packers are going to be set up with a 1st and goal. It's a nice run there. Gets them down to the 6-yard line. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. They'll run now with Dillon. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. A.J. Dillon, a 6-yard touchdown run. And the Packers are starting to pull away in the 4th quarter of this Super Bowl. Extra point by McCann, up and good. And that makes this a 9-point game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And we're at the time in this Super Bowl where, look, they need points. And they need them badly. Trailing here in the 4th quarter as they begin this drive 1st and 10. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. To the right side, complete to Taylor. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Here's Tagovailoa on 1st and 10. That's going to be caught by Waddle. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Tua. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that, because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long. Here's Tua. Pass complete to Taylor. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. That'll bring up 4th down. They wind up getting 8 yards, but they needed more than that. So taking a risk here early in the new year, they're going to go for it. Tagovailoa. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Packers are going to get the football back in excellent field position. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. the give running left is Breida. And he'll work this forward for about 3. It's second down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. He continues to have a big night here under the lights carrying the football.
And some guys prefer night games. For whatever reason, their bodies react a certain way. They love the spotlight. Maybe that's what it is. The best seats in the house, the ones where he's carrying the football for his offensive teammates. The worst seats, the 11 guys trying to tackle him on defense.
And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. Now a carry for Dillon. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. This is where, fourth quarter, you got the lead, you give it to the big guy. Defensively kind of sucks the will out of him, doesn't it? Because they don't want to tackle him right now this late in the game.
Well, you say that with accusatory tones. I mean, but you're exactly right. I know it's not something we actually want to talk about, but as a defender, 4 quarters worth of trying to bring people down, 4 quarters worth of pounding, and now late in the game, here comes that big guy coming at you, and a lot of guys are wondering where they want to come up and make that tackle at this stage of the game.
And the Lombardi Trophy is going back home. The Green Bay Packers are your Super Bowl champions. And to the Super Bowl champions, they etch their name forever in NFL immortality.
That's pretty phenomenal right there. It actually gave me chills just to hear you say that, because immortality forever and ever. When you look in the record books, you'll see this team, you'll see their picture, that your name will be a part of it. That's got to be an incredible feeling, because it's been a long journey to get there, and now they get a chance to enjoy it.
And they are the Super Bowl champs. The Lombardi Trophy is theirs, and so are bragging rights for an entire season. And what a season it has been. Feels like we have been there every step of the way. Our entire crew doing a wonderful job. Thanks to my broadcast partner, Charles Davis. For all those guys, I'm Brandon Gaudin signing off. We'll talk to you next season right here on EA Sports.